Yo, what up, though? What up, though? Welcome to another Tuesday of What Up, Though Radio. We just a shell of ourselves down here. Me and T Love. We gonna hold it down like Kobe and Shaq, early 2000s. We got my main man Tate doing the producing, Jeff in the back, whipping up these new recipes at Prime 55 downtown U City or Upper West Side St. Louis City, what I like to call it. Tonight, man, we had some pretty decent topics this evening. We're gonna touch about the youth. We're gonna talk about charitable foundations and how it's mixing up some different signals with the recent tornado relief. But most importantly, I wanted to dive into the youth. As of late, man, I've been seeing a lot of kids, not a lot of kids, but I've seen a lot of my social media friends having to deal with the passing of their children from one reason or another, but mostly to violence. And it's been, for St. Louis to be homicide rates, they're going down a lot. And I know it's been going down a lot in Baltimore and Birmingham and a lot of inner cities that are majorly populated by black people. But it's been hurting my heart a little bit to see a lot of people that I've grown up with or had different relationships with losing their children. So it made me question, me and Fat ponder the question as far as how comfortable are you with your child owning a weapon in the climate that we live in today in St. Louis? I know, like, there's always a saying, you better, what is it? You rather be caught with one than caught without one.
Right, or rather be judged by 12 or carried by 6.
Yeah, but in like most cases, I was always taught that the up beats the jump. You know what I'm saying? So like, most people don't have a skill. Just because you got a gun, that don't mean you get to use it or know how to use it. A lot of people think that if you go shooting in the backyard, or if you go somewhere training, you might know how to load it and all that type of stuff. But like, you don't get, usually a target is just not moving straight towards you and shooting at you when you going to train for a gun.
Right.
So you need to go through a little obstacle course with it. So, but touching on that, the original question I'm asking, like I have a son, I have 3 adult sons. 2 of them carry, and I've tried to explain to them sometimes that, like, you know, came up a crooked way. I don't want to say crooked, but I ain't followed the lines coming up the street. But I never really felt like I had to carry a gun, and I know I've been in a lot of shit in my life, but I never felt like I was in a position where I need to be carrying a gun. Or if I did, I knew about it. I just never thought I had to be on DEFCON 4 all the time. You 2 have adult sons. How do you feel about it, love?
Same way, kind of. A little bit, I mean, like you said, they so, like when my son first got his first weapon or whatever, and when I was trying to have a conversation with him, his thing was everybody got one. So like, if I get into it with somebody or something is to happen, and you know, that's where it's gonna go. Like, people ain't just fighting, ain't nobody taking no ass whoopings no more. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest problem. Y'all won't scared to take our ass whooping. We took a lot of. I gave a lot, took a few, gave a lot though. And like I try to even explain, like I said, we came up the same way, and I try to explain. And even when I get an opportunity to even see someone that when I was in my 19, 20, younger days that it was on site with, and then to see I'm at the age 9 and that person that I might have been beefing with at the time, we both have grown and now we cool. Mm-hmm. And even being able to show my kids that, like, man, me and this guy used to be going at it. But once you get to playing with them guns, like I tell them, that's forever. It ain't, ain't no coming back, ain't no apologizing, ain't no taking it back. Talked to a friend of mine a while ago that was incarcerated for a little while, and he said, man, if he had $1 for every kid that came in there for something gun related, when they got in there, they kind of didn't know what was going on, adrenaline pumping, whatever. They still on their tough rah shit, go to sleep, wake up, like, crying, like, what did I do? I just threw my life away. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing about them guns that I worry about, because if you pull them, you got to use them.
Do you think they suffer with the inability to cope with what's happening 5 minutes afterwards? like a lot of times, like the way I've been able to navigate is like, man, listen here. I ain't never been pressed. Like, I mean, I've been robbed before, I'm just saying, but I ain't never been pressed to a situation. Like if I don't hurry up and do something like immediately, then I probably gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like whatever's happening, I probably just like,
right.
But a lot of these youth, like you said, they scared to take a loss, whether fighting or even you just up and thump on somebody like, oh, I'm fucking them up. And they don't think about tomorrow. And where we live at now today is cameras everywhere. Not only the cameras that you don't know about, but it's the cameras that people are walking around with, showing everything like social media. And I don't think I think they missing their bravado with common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to blame like people losing their children like that. I don't want to. Do you think the parents take any accountability for what is happening to the kids outside, or they just tough love is too tough, or gentle love is too gentle? Where is the middle ground for kids to understand like this ain't the route?
Well, I think a lot of it, in my opinion, comes from single parents. I mean, it was a lot of single parents growing up. I mean, I ain't had my dad, but I had other people around, and I think what's happening now, people don't have that village no more. Mm-hmm. Even when you try to discipline someone else's kid, now the parent mad, that's my child. That didn't fly when I was growing up. You ain't gonna get whooped by the neighbor. Everybody heard about what you did. You scared to walk past everybody because everybody gonna either have something to say, or like Darius Bradford made a joke one time, and he was talking about but it was true. He said the cell phone also took away those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because you call the house, some adult's gonna answer the phone before it really gets to the person that you really want to talk to.
Okay.
So you probably, that uncle that you don't see no more, you call Granny house, he answering the phone. Mm-hmm. So now he giving you his 5 or 10 minute spiel, whoever answers the phone at that time, and you get a chance to go through that, even when I feel like I was going left and right, left, my grandmother was always in the back of my head. My uncle was always in the back of my head. Mm-hmm. And people youngsters don't respect nothing but money.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and it's funny that you say that, because I noticed that my kids, they duck my daddy. Mm-hmm. If they don't got to talk to him, they not going to talk to him, because to him, I'm still 22. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I'm 50. But to him, I'm still his son.
Right.
So to him, they still little kids, them his grandkids. So he's still power driving the same stuff to them. And I tell him, like, man, y'all don't like hearing that shit because it's the truth. Mm-hmm. And it catch you off guard to somebody holding you accountable for what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And like you said, so I got a cell phone. I don't got to answer the phone. Or the landline is dead. Nobody answering that no more. Mm-hmm. So for me to be able to navigate without having to talk to no adults until I got to talk to an adult. And it's usually the too late by then. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where, like I always said, like I think like and I don't want to just hone in on this, but like the simple things of eating together, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, single parents, single moms especially moms that's trying to do more than, and I ain't gonna even say the ones that's running the streets, but they both kind of, the ones that's trying to better themselves and the one that run the streets, both really just kind of housing their kids like dogs. I mean, not literally, but just saying to feed them and give them shelter and make sure they got clothes.
Yeah, because a lot of them made mistakes. Really, a lot of times why their parents so young. So by the time they figure out life and they trying to repair the things that they done, mm-hmm. and you got this kid that you really can't, pay that much attention to, because now you working a job, now you trying to go to school, you trying to play catch up at 35, 40 years old, mm-hmm. You trying to keep a roof over your head. So that has to be a hard thing. But I did see something, I think it was Saturday, a bunch of kids was downtown. I think 9 kids got arrested.
No, it was like 45 kids got arrested.
Yeah, he had the gun case. And then when the parents came to pick them up, they gave the parents a citation. So that's the first I've ever heard of that.
They starting to exercise that?
Yeah.
Now it's funny that I brought up one of my sons, and I had told him, I'm like, I mean, I was struggling, like, damn, bro, like, I don't want no guns in my house, but at the same time, I don't want nothing happening to you.
Right.
Why do you gotta keep going around stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you do have an option to not be around shit like that. Like, cause for most crimes in St. Louis, they target it.
Right.
Like, people just don't pull up on cars for the most part and just start airing cars out.
Right.
It usually be the car that they've been looking for. Somebody did some of this, or somebody said something on social media, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How do we get them to, even the parents involved or not involved, how do we get to a common ground between the parents and the kids where they have to understand that there's a better option than being cool?
I just think the parents need help. This is my opinion. Coming from, working with Nelly over the years, I always get kids wanting me to listen to music, and a lot of us send me music. And one day, this one particular kid, I was like, I heard you rap. He's like, yeah. I said, oh, yeah, I seen your video. I said, rap for me. He couldn't. He said, I wasn't prepared. So he went to show me videos, right? So we watching the videos, and it just clicked in my head. I said, oh, I know why you can't rap, because every song that I heard that you just played, you're talking about somebody. You're talking about something that actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all basically, this crew making a song about this crew, and y'all rapping about what happened, and then y'all rapping about what happened, and then y'all just going back and forth.
So
that's what's really going on.
So that drill music, is that dangerous?
That's
to the
really
point,
that's
like,
very dangerous.
they actually talking about shit
That happened
on
those songs.
Is it a lost cause? Like, cause we can sit up here. This ain't the first time that we just sat up on What Up Radio and talked about.
But this is the first time that I actually realized that this is what they be actually talking about each other. When that little kid told me he couldn't rap, and I'm looking at the videos, and I'm like, you rapping on the video. You can't sit here and rap. Then he'll show me another video. And he wasn't just showing his videos. He showed me the video of the people that he's into it with. And then he showed me his video. I said, oh, y'all talking about each other.
And so they make these videos, throw them on social media platforms, knowing that each other is going to see
this
until it comes to a boiling point.
Yeah.
And then somebody gone, and the person who did it gone too.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what type of intervention we got for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think YouTube need to put whatever needs to put some type of safeguards. Well, when you anytime you talking about these things, just take it down.
Mm-hmm. But so YouTube need to create a field of people to be like,
yeah, they should need
the same way they
some type of filter.
gatekeep shit like, hey, no, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned something earlier today about organizations, like you had to become part of an organization to own a gun. So that way we can track it down.
Yeah.
And the organization becomes responsible for the people that they trained or so and so.
Yeah, I was over in Florida riding, and I looked over, I seen a sign that said gun club. And I was like, I never knew a gun club actually existed. So I was like, maybe you can help curb something. So in order to purchase a weapon, you got to be a member of the gun club. They got all your information. You have to purchase it through them, so they know who got it, where it's going. And if something happens, they responsible, or you can hold them responsible for, not giving up the information, or not sharing, or not, kind of letting to me like an extra safeguard on who get these guns, because everybody gets a gun. Everybody got a gun. You don't know if they mentally ill. Mm-hmm. You don't know if they know how to use the gun. You just don't know none of that.
Now, as I talk about this, I walk on eggshells because, like I said, these are people that I actually know that are losing their children. And in no way am I trying to affect a grieving parent or try to point at them about what they might be doing wrong or what their kids might have done wrong. Because once you're going, all that shit don't even matter no more. Mm-hmm. You're always going to be wondering, what could I have done? What would I have done better? I wish I could have done more. The point is now we still got people living and doing the same things. Of course, same old age-old thing. The dads, the fathers, the men have to be more accountable
Mm-hmm.
for their children. A man in the house means a lot.
Right.
It's not that cool no more. It never was cool. But now it's getting, I guess the older I get, the more clear it's getting to be like, damn, you shouldn't have kids in all these different households. Because even if you're the greatest, most financially.
It's something missing. But it's something, again, it's something always going to be missing. Even if you're in the house, you're at work.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're at the house. I just seen something that Chris Rock said about the cell phone versus the house phone. He said, he was talking about relationships though. He said, you go the whole entire day. He said, I think he said his parents have been married like 50 some years. And he was saying that him and his wife was together for 16 years. I've had more communication with my wife in 16 years than my mother and father have had in 50 years. He go to work, he gone for 12 hours a day. He can't talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know what's going on. He ain't gonna know what happened till he get home from work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we call, we check on each other, we text each other all day long, blase. So I think,
Is that a coddling that need to calm down? Like, because remember when cell phones was introduced, like you couldn't take one to school.
yeah, you couldn't say
Now
that.
parents are like, no, I need to know what I
Yeah.
got to talk to my daughter. Like, you really don't have to, because you think when you send someone to school that they are under the eyes of people who have have enough responsibility to take care of children.
Right.
But somehow, some way, that shit is getting moved to the side for the all-time word that 1,000 times we use is personal or immediate
and I think
gratification.
technology is speeding kids up as far as access to things. I don't think it's speeding them up as far as knowledge and what to do and how to handle situations. I think that that's still, man, it's just, I think it's no different when we were coming up. I just think they got more options than we had. But as far as, because I was looking at my son sometimes and be like, man, I'm 22, you're immature. Like, at 22, I was a grown man. I was a grown ass man. And, like, I felt like I was able to handle more in my 22 opposed to his 22, even though he got all the access to a bunch of information that I didn't have.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're dealing with a lot, man. So it's going to be hard, but it's going to take concerted, like village. It's going to take an effort. A lot of times we discuss things, and I don't have an answer. I mean, I don't have an answer for myself. I can't wave a wand and say this can happen, but it's going to take more people. It might take way more conversations from people who care a lot more than not just name people. Because a lot of times I look up like we get distracted about Cardi B and all that type of shit that's going on that really don't have no bearing or weight on in our life. But the things that hit us the most, we kind of sweep up under the rug. I wish we would come to some type of community gathering or something like this where we would have more dialogue about these conversations that hurt people, because it's hurting us. And I want to stick a fork in and say it's done, but it ain't. But I don't mind talking about it. I just wish more people who maybe not being as intelligent as the next person can sit down and have these conversations. Sometimes it hurts. Like I say, I see friends losing their kids and burying them. And, after you shared and 500 reactions and likes to or heartfelt things, you still have to go on the next day grieving. Mm-hmm. And nobody's like, after 2 weeks, then it's 35 people saying something. Then after a year, 3 people saying something. Yeah. So no one is dealing with this shit. You have to bury it within yourself. And I feel so sorry for the people that's dealing with it. And I think it's very correctable. It's just some stuff that we don't have to deal with in 2025. But that's my take, and that's Love take on it.
So we're going to get a female's opinion on this.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should. We have the lovely Don Tanya in the building.
Yeah. He said he gonna add that.
He comes sitting in between me. What's up, tattoo lady?
Now you gonna bring DT in here for a second, and she gonna give us a little about what we were talking about. Again, it's another Tuesday of What Up Though Radio. Got my main man Tay 313 in the building.
Got us looking good. Got us looking good over
We're
there.
doing chat and shoot. That's how we got on.
Chat and True is doing it. This is our brother station. These glasses are distracting
Okay.
on the camera. PA, move these, please.
Okay. Show killer. When you start working.
Show killer. Can you move these for real? They're distracting on the clip. Thank you. Thank you, friend.
It's all, whenever a woman comes in, we got to just let the women be what they are. If DT, we're going to catch you up on what we was talking about. If you just not paying attention or just if you didn't notice, I had started the conversation off talking about how every time I open up social media recently, like someone is losing a child mostly through violent acts.
Mm-hmm.
And we were wondering, like, how do you feel about your son or your daughter or whatever owning a gun and living with you? Like, are you cool with that? Knowing that the climate that we live in, is that something that because of the shit, if I brought a gun in the house at 18, I was getting out. Like, and they was gonna take the gun.
Well, surprisingly, that happened to me. Me and my son were engaged in a conversation outside of our home, and he said, and I said, but sometimes you just might need a gun. He said, I got a gun. I said, well, where did you get a gun from? And he said, don't worry about that, but I got one, and pulled it out. And I said, oh, like, and I was just so like, oh my God, like my baby could lose his life. What if he gets so angry? He's my only child. Just so many emotions came through my head. And I wanted to tell him that he don't need it, but I can't tell him that.
Mm.
Especially as a man.
Would you feel, if something happened to him, would you feel like you held some type of accountability for that?
No, because I literally really have a great son. And I know sometimes people can get in predicaments and it can make them do things that they don't really want to because you're normally reacting off of something. Mm-hmm. But I know he's not an agitator. Mm-hmm. I know he's not somebody who is purposely driven to cause trouble. He is non-confrontational. He is all of that. So if that was to happen, I would know either something made him so mad that he was forced to use it, or he didn't draw that sucker fast enough.
Do you?
I'm sorry.
God dang.
What you say? You said what you said earlier, Daddy? No, beats the draw every time.
So, do you? There's like I had come to like at the minute I was talking about my son, I was thinking like I was kind of preparing myself for a phone call. Like I'm already trying to come with mental, like, bro, if something happened to you, then I ain't ready. No, then you didn't have to be this, and I done told you this, so and so, so and so, so and so. Do you think it hurts worse, or it hurts the same, or you like when you've already dealt with something that you think might come in, and like I said when I asked you, like I didn't.
Let me ask you this: did you ever ask your parents? Because the life that you lived was a life that they would feel the exact same way. And knowing who you are and how you grew up, it wasn't a necessary thing that you had to do. It's just something that you somehow got involved in. Mm-hmm. And you, if I'm not mistaken, you were a basketball player. You were the dude, like, he not a basketball player? Okay, football, okay. Whatever the case, you're an athlete. I can hoop too, though. You're an athlete. Right. So there would never be the thought process of as a parent, like, but look what.
So I do think about that when I talk to them, because I ain't, like we lived in a bad neighborhood, but we was cool. Like we was cool. Like I didn't have no reason to jump off the porch into the street. Just surrounded by all my friends was doing, so I was doing. So when I talk to them, I try to use that thought in my head, and to think they didn't live in bad neighborhoods at all, never in life. But it still moved out there to where they were at. Like they would still know their friend is doing this and their friend do that. Maybe not as much as mine were, but they were doing it. So I don't get mad at the decisions. Man, it's hard to even answer, because now I feel like you being a hypocrite when you say something to them about it. Because shit, I didn't have to do none of that shit.
Is it hypocritical, or is it evolution that we're just not ready to accept? Because mankind is going to evolve. And the bottom line is this is not forever. The species is not supposed to be forever. At some point, the conversation is he's supposed to come back. So as long as we're the way that we're going, it makes people believe that something is wrong. Like we should not have these many situations around the board for everything. So
Well, evolution, your brain should be evolving too. You
but
know?
it doesn't mean that it's evolving to the right thing because you like they got all this information on the internet and we still don't have the smartest kids in the world.
I have to sit there before you got her.
Mhm. They got
I
more
said exactly
options.
that.
Yeah, so
But
the
not
brain,
smarter.
you know, it's although it's moving on this side, it doesn't mean that the other side is equally. So I feel like we're almost losing. Like it's not that we're regressing, but we're regressing. Like how can that be? And we have so much advanced technology to make something
But
better.
do we put it to you like this? Do we need, is advanced technology helping us or hurting us?
No.
Because you gotta look at it like this. I was just reading something where they say, is it China or somewhere it got over 1,000 people that's over 100 years old.
Probably China. Asia.
But look how we dying at a younger age than our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
What things, hypertension, just cancer, and all the things that we experiencing that they weren't experiencing before we had cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't even have medicine to cure none of the things.
Mhm.
So what was being used then that we're missing now?
Like even for the Chinese culture is like Chinese medicine. Like I mentioned Reiki. If I mention a Reiki to you guys, a Reiki is 1,000 years old. It's something that there is a doctor for that literally pulls out the sickness in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, you get so relaxed and they go over your body and they pull out the energy, the sickness in your body. And if it never happened to me, I actually got to experience it and it works. Some form, we're so hooked on the thought process that nothing else works, but that we'll just say, I'm gonna go ahead and keep eating this because I got this pill to help me out.
Mm-hmm.
But literally we're dying.
Mm. Well, you just like the mass consumption of anything, like the more we do, the more that faster they're gonna find ways to make it. Like,
Yeah.
So I can't really. I understand.
Even when you look at when the tariffs came out, I didn't know. I was just finding out how some of our products go overseas and got warning labels on.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Some of the candy, the cookies,
Cereal.
the cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fruit Loops in Canada consist of fruit, as opposed to what we eat. We got all type of like different GMOs and things that we can't pronounce that are in a. I try to use that up with like anything I'm eating. If I can't pronounce it, I don't want to eat it. You know what I'm saying? If it's all got these benzides and all that stuff. And when I walk in Quick Trip, I probably might walk around in there for like 5 or 10 minutes before I decide just let me get some water, because everything else in there look crazy as hell.
And then have you ever heard a country boy talk about the way they eat pork?
Mm-mm.
They take the pig, they put it in a hot box for months and let all the toxins and all the stuff drain out the pig before they cook it. And we just eat it with all the toxins in it. Well, I don't eat
Well,
pork,
we don't eat it,
but those people
I
that
do.
do eat it.
Pork
You
is-
need to go down to the country and get you some.
Tell you something, pig is the only thing they ain't touch.
And
They
they-
don't touch that turkey, that chicken,
And they name
and
the pig.
that fish. I've been eating the same type of pig. He been eating the same shit for the last 100 million years.
Well, it ain't the shit. It's the stuff they put to keep it
Preserved.
preserved.
It's worked
That's-
out for the last
that's the
100 million
problem.
years. That fish don't last more than 24 hours.
Yeah.
That chicken ain't right, as big as all outdoors. It can play baseball with the Cardinals. It's just too much.
Yeah, the chicken is bad. As we
I'm not going to defend the pork, though.
okay, the swine
You
is
just big.
unkind.
I did.
One of the other things I wanted to talk about this evening.
I don't eat pork.
When
but I
does-
love bacon?
When does a nonprofit company become profitable and stay a nonprofit company? It's a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but it's a couple people around. I don't want to say scrambling. Well, I want to say scrambling and kind of undercutting, where it's looking like they're undercutting people for
their own
for
financial
their own
gain.
financial gain from the tornado relief funds that are being issued out.
Where are the funds that I need?
Like, why is it?
I need
When does it
some
become
funds.
unpure? Like the CEOs of Red Cross and March of Dimes, Salvation Army, they make handsome salaries.
Mhm.
When does what is the term 2150? What is it when you have a nonprofit? What's the
501c.
501c3.
what are the stipulations for that in order for the person that's running the company to make money, and how does it still be that without becoming a profitable company?
It's going to be profitable. I mean, it's just the way that it's worded. So you could, if you had a nonprofit, and you could just say you made $10,000 this month, you could say I'm the director of this nonprofit, and my salary is $9,000 a month.
Hmm.
That's all you got to do.
So so it's still nonprofit in terms, but as far as personal gain,
You just can't go in the bank and pull the money out.
Mhm.
It has to be accounted for. That's all.
so when
But you could put yourself in any position and set your salary at whatever you want to set it at.
do you think that deters people? Like, you remember like when the tornadoes came, everybody outside, we gotta stick together, I love St. Louis, look at this, blah 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 blah. Now it's like, man, he can't handle that money, give that money to me.
Right.
Look at them, what they doing with that money, you know what I'm saying? So like, how, like, what makes that change?
I mean, that's just scrambling. I mean, you got greed on every level. That doesn't sound like somebody being greedy and looking for a lick.
Like, is it a gatekeeper for that? Sooner or later, people like this
Oh, for
usually
sure.
they usually fuck it up.
I mean, it's a gay. I mean, you ain't gonna mess it up. It's just you might mess it up for yourself, and it's just gonna go to the opportunity. Just gonna go to the next person.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's sad because the people, if that's what you're supposed to do.
But you literally have people out here that's helping just to help that don't have a nonprofit or ain't even thinking about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Going in their pocket, spending their own money, and then you got people out there that got the bells and whistles, and you really, I mean, to me, it don't matter. Help is help, but if anybody wants to ask questions or look at it, you start there first. Look at the people with the bells and whistles, because that money is coming from somewhere, and somebody's getting paid.
As like Clayco, well, I don't want to say Clayco because I don't want Clayco to not give me no money. But like I guess when money come around, it just start fucking shit up. To be honest, like
money is the root of all evil.
It just,
especially when it's almost like free money.
mm-hmm.
When you able to get it, and
our culture already don't share. So,
mm-hmm.
Is it our culture or is it just the world, or is it magnified between us?
I think it's our culture.
You think so? Do we not understand that it's enough money to go around?
Yeah, we don't get that.
We don't get that.
We don't get that.
Nah. I mean, we say stuff like never do business with friends. White folks don't say that.
And they do major business with each other.
friends. They don't like each other.
They still do
I was at a meeting, a clothing meeting, and it was two Jewish guys. One was there before. He talked so much crap about the one that was coming, and repeated it all in front of the band because they were different type of Jews. And then they practiced two different ways. And he said, but he does his job.
And I guess
I don't personally like him, but he get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking like, damn, why we doing business with this man? He didn't look at it like that. He's just looking like, cocksucker, get the job done.
How long has that been in? Is that slavery roots, or we already like that before slavery, or is it the proximity? I'm gonna talk about St. Louis. Is it the proximity of us knowing each other, knowing that Love got $10,000 more dollars than me?
Well, it's still,
I don't want him to have it.
It's still a slave mindset. We still have, that just comes from what was done to our ancestors and what the slave master did to them to keep them under control. You have to divide them. You got to keep them divided. You got to keep them. That's why they brought the lighter skinned people came in the house, and the dark skinned people stayed in the fields. Mostly because not just because they was light skinned, it was a reason why they were lighter. because most of them was slave masters' kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have my kid in the house, you know,
Isn't it
I'll
amazing
be
that's still?
I'll be sneaking out in the field hitting Sister Shirley at night, and we ain't got a kid. So I'm gonna stick them in the house, let them work in the house, that type of thing. And we still have that same. It's still in us. It's still because it just passed down from generation to generation. When you see your grandparents get something and they act like, or they give you game, and they game is, we still call the bedroom the master bedroom. Do y'all know that is a slave term? That's on. If you pull up right now, they're gonna say 2 bedrooms and a master. It's called master bedroom because that was master's bedroom. And we still in 2025 refer to it as master's bedroom, the master bedroom.
So should it be the freak off? Sorry.
That's usually the guest bedroom.
That's usually the guest bedroom. Or
Right.
the downstairs couch.
So you mess the sheets up. I ain't sleeping in no calm.
Hell no. That's what I said. Like, what? But it's crazy that of the thought process of evolution and passing things down to generation, that is one thing that is truly still relevant today.
Yeah.
Do you think the intellect that we have now, if more people were able to understand that instead of shunning away from it, do you think would have any help? I mean, or any shine any light on us to stop doing so much dumb shit that's so not so progressive? Or just does knowledge don't really help, do it?
No.
No. Because I'm like, let's think about it. Who is that question for? Like, is it for the next generation? Is it for the adults that should know at this point in time what it should be? Like they should already know. But we react off of things that.
Did you see the interview between Wallow Gilly and what's the guy that plays
Joey Badass.
Joey Badass.
He fucked Gilly up, didn't he? Like,
What'd he say?
But Gilly was just saying he worked hard. Basically, he was kind of saying he worked hard to get where he is, and he's not gonna let nobody get in his light.
Right.
Basically,
his verbatim was, if I know it's somebody younger than me, hungrier than me, trying to get where I'm at, I'm not going to welcome them into mine because that's going to stop me from feeding my family. And which Joey Badass countered it like we need to get rid of that mindset. Like you should open the door for everybody. Like it's enough. He's like, when are people going to realize it's enough money to go around? Like just because you let somebody in your arena, that don't mean that you're not going to be in the position that you are in, or you might be able to create another position from that. As many conversations we have like this, sometimes I get pissed off because it only helps people who are already thinking like that. It's not like nobody's getting a bright-eyed idea or getting hit in the head like, oh, let me start doing this then. And I guess that comes from like when we do this show, like you say, it's therapeutic for you. And I really be wanting these messages and these great words that we put together for people to understand that we ain't just saying it just from our perspective. We really be wanting the different shit to talk about. I would love to get on this show all the time and talk about, man, did you see this, man? Like I did start off with like Baltimore's mayor and Birmingham mayor. They got their homicide rates down 50%. And it came through investing in literacy, children's programs, a lot of things that we don't have going on in our city right now. But I'm saying that to say this, like, where's the earthquake or the mind quake gonna come when it be like, oh man, we don't gotta do the dumb shit. We probably get along a lot better if we just tried it this way instead of counting everybody's wins and everybody's losses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking until people really understand the how I want to say it, the beauty of growing old, because they don't make decisions based off of that. Like I sat down with a guy that's not favoring the St. Louis, Paul McKee, and this was before he wouldn't purchase the 500 acres in North St. Louis. Everybody was pissed about. But I sat in the meeting with him, and when he was telling me his plan, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, this man is 70-something years old. he's not gonna be alive to see this.
Mhm.
But he don't care. He not even thinking about that. He just thinking about I'm gonna do this, and and this will be here for my kids. He didn't say that, but I mean, what else could he be thinking? Like, you ain't gonna be here, but we want so much right now, like right now for me, right now for me and mine. And even when you say me and mine, because mine changes all the time. You fall out with your kids, the wife you might have started with, you ain't with her no more, or the person you always with, and it's just the circle, the same circle, the same mindset, like you said. It's just everybody just thinking about self at the end of the day. Even when you say me and mine, I try to think about everybody that I affect. These tentacles touch. If I touch you, I know it's gonna touch somebody else. If you touch you, it's gonna touch somebody else, and so on and so on. And people don't go into things thinking like that. They just think about what they can see and what they can touch. And that's why I brought him up, because he wasn't thinking about that. He just was. He had what he thought was a great idea. I'm not in real estate, so I don't know if it was great or not, or what he was doing, if he was doing something crooked or not. But I just know what he was putting in place would affect a lot of people, and he wasn't worried about him because he wasn't even gonna be here to see it.
It's funny that you said that about him. I watched Joe and Jada, Fat Joe and Jada Kids show. And Fat Joe was like, man, I just want that portrait. Like after I'm long gone, that portrait of me just sitting and my family can look like we got all of this because of this man right here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about, like he's like, I want to have fun while I'm here, but I definitely want to leave something, my foundation here. We won't be able to, I don't know if we'll be able to feel it when we're gone or not, but to be able to think that he's thinking down the line. And if we stop thinking, like you said, we stop thinking about today, right now, I think we probably won't be killing each other so much or trying to scramble somebody out some money that's free and things that we just have a natural nature for just undercutting each other.
I think we come from a time too where the future was embedded in us, what your future is going to be. Because even if you sold drugs, you thought about what house you would have in the future if you made it. Today, the narrative is be in the present. Because if you spend time in the present, then you will appreciate more of what you have. But the bottom line is you still have a future that you have to care for. So if you're spending all this time in the present, you can't get what it is that you need for your future. So everybody has to step outside of that box, and you got to want more than just undercutting people. Because if I don't undercut love might show me something that might help my future. You know what I'm saying? I might be the one he calls to help my future. But I'm at an age where my future is important to me. If you're 28, your future might not be important to you. My cousin is 28, your cousin too. She just graduated from dental school. And the fact that she said 1 out of 5 of her friends, she's the only one who has taken that step to wanting to do something great. How? It's so many business owners. St. Louis has the second highest in the country for women starting businesses. It's so many things that we could do for your future, but it's the now. I gotta stop and take a mental day.
And our little cousin who's made that, I bet you her friend looking at when she first started that journey, the friends, I bet you it was at least one, if not all of them, was like, man, that's gonna take you that long.
It's gonna take you forever.
And now when she did it, now they like, man, that went by quick.
Yeah.
I could have did that.
I guess to wrap it up, we can start. It's never too late to start.
It's never too late to start.
Because nothing's promised. So if tomorrow you get up on the good foot and you die tomorrow evening, at least you had a great day. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, that's another episode of What Up Though Radio. I want to thank everybody who's going to watch this show and listen to this show. We got some great things going on in 2025. Please tune in. Come on back. We're going to be here every Tuesday, as usual, as was, and as will be. We holler back. See you later.
Bye, y'all.